Hello everyone and welcome to Fablehaemon's Spellforce Conquest of AO. This is a game that kind of subtly released very recently and caught me off guard. But it is a 4X game that uses the world, assets, and engine of Spellforce 3 to produce what is kind of like Age of Wonders. And I am a huge fan of Age of Wonders, and because there is necromancy, well, of course I had to take a look at it. And so far, the testing has been pretty fun. Now, there aren't like traditional races and factions, but you are a mage, and as a mage, there are some archetypes of magic. The default classes are Alchemist, Necromancer, and Artificer, but you can make your own custom mage. Alchemy, Necromancy, and Artificing are basically the races. This determines what kind of minions you will be crafting. You can also recruit like neutral minions and stuff, but this will be the heart of your army. Then there is a primary and secondary school of magic. The primary school gives you 2 pages of research, and the secondary gives you 1. And as we are Erratus, I thought it would be fun to be Death as the primary and Enchantment as the secondary, because, well, Erratus is not only an arch-necromancer, but an arch-mage as well. However, because I don't know what the pages of magic are, we're just going to be going with the default Necromancer, which has both its primary and secondary school as death magic, because of course, life.
Life is a disease.
The description for Necromancer is, be a Necromancer, an artist of life. In death, harvest souls from the bodies of the fallen to create your horde and flood the lands with your servants. You prefer big armies, but will happily sacrifice individual units. Of course we will. Now we have 5 different locations. You can think of this as campaign maps, and they all have their own challenges, enemies, resources, and accessibility. Not sure what that last one's about, but the resources are actually pretty important. It goes all the way from Pleasance, here in the Golden Fields, to the brutal Misty Coast. But I thought because we are role-playing as Erratus, we would be in Alluvion, with the religious fanatics of the cathedral, or whatever they are in this particular world. This is a forest and lakes filled this region, once populated by elves. Dangerous beasts roam the forest rich in wildlife, and the fanatics of the new purity extend their grasp here. Now this is the difficulty of the game, and I don't think the difficulty is too crazy hard. It changes the world progression, enemy aggressiveness, enemy strength, economy, and battle AI. Battle AI is kind of weird, but we'll just be going for a balanced experience because this is how the developers recommend the game be played, and this will be my first time really playing it. I tested it out for like half an hour or whatever. So here we go. There are 2 things that I would like to warn you about before we really get into it, and the first one is that the campaign is driven by events and story. So there's going to be a lot of talking, and I'll do my best to narrate as well as possible. You can see it even starts off with one. The second thing is that the auto-resolver is kinda sus, as the kids would say. So there's going to be a lot of manual combat, and I'll cut out the boring ones if, you know, we'll play it by ear. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, when a message from your master told you he had discovered a way to channel the Allfire and urged you to come to his tower, you quickly gathered your entourage and set out. The letter contained little more than his note and a small flute, exquisitely carved and bearing your master's sigil. He seemed to fear running afoul of the Circle Mages, the most powerful covenant of magic users on AO. His tower, now before you, bears signs of a terrible battle having raged there. Well, then let us march into the tower. I'll explain everything in a second, once we get the story rolling. The corpses and debris marking the fight inside the great hall of your master's tower fill you with grief for him. Instinctively, your hands go to the flute he sent you with his letter. You trace the fine carvings with your fingers, and memories of your time here flood your mind. Suddenly, the flute begins to hum and vibrate, and a small sound emanates from it. The sound morphs into a flute melody, and with it shadowy images slowly begin to appear across the hall. Figures take form, becoming more solid and taking the shape of 2 groups facing each other. weapons drawn. You see your old master leading one of the groups. This must be the battle for the tower. This is the combat tutorial, but it's not very exciting, so go skip it. Impressions of the fighting still play on your mind as you slowly walk up the dented stairway. The tower, damaged and deserted, still retains your master's presence somehow, willing you onward. Whatever happened here will not be forgotten. You are sure there is more to discover. Your master was always adept at hiding his secrets, but you are determined to uncover them. You take stock. The entry hall's golden chandelier has been stolen, and its soft carpets are gone. Your master's tower was not just attacked, but also robbed, it appears. Upon closer inspection, there are several tracks out of the tower. Traces of torn fabric and dropped cutlery lead to a goblin camp not far from here. Hi. Alrighty, our domain has been created. As in any 4X game, this is our domain. Things within our domain give us benefits, and yes, it can be expanded. There are, however, a few quirks about this domain, which we may or may not discover this video in the first episode. Now, this is the tower, where we get to build essentially our base, and right now we can only build one of 3 rooms. We'll begin with the Necromancer's Crypt. This allows us to do necromancy. Isn't that great? There are 2 more rooms, and to facilitate the building of one of them, I'm just going to grab this mana real quick. Up at the top, we have our gold, our monetary reserve. This is used primarily for paying upkeep to living units. We have mana, our magical reserve, primarily used for paying upkeep to our magical units that we create and for summoning spells. Actually, this might actually be used for casting spells because we have our mastery, which limits the mana you can spend each turn on spells. Maybe you use them both. That would make sense. And we have our research, which of course is our research speed that we don't have unlocked quite yet. Here in our inventory, these are very important. We'll get to them next turn. And we also have the Allfire, which is incredibly important, and we'll see in a few turns. Probably. The Necromancer's Crypt has been constructed. Well done, well done. You wander the old familiar rooms of the tower, lost in memories of your time here as an apprentice. The place was clearly searched through before the goblins ransacked it. Your master's crafting room has been depleted. Most of the other chambers ravaged. Whoever did this left no stone unturned. Buried beneath a toppled bookcase in your master's gutted library, you find his old grimoire. Reverently, you open the heavy tome. Many of its beautifully illustrated pages have been torn out, but you still see bits and pieces of your master's illegible script. He was always secretive about his arcane research, often writing in code. You look for the first spells he taught you, carefully flipping the large pages to one of the bookmarks attached to the spine. You can indeed make out some of the basics. Others you can almost decipher. You gaze around the room, imagining a treasure trove of arcane knowledge hidden among the scattered scrolls and torn books. A lifetime of magical study at your disposal. I will not leave until I have recovered my master's knowledge. So here is the grimoire. You have a little progression quest here to experiment by crafting undead, Eratus' favorite hobby. Here is the Apprentice spell page, which I believe is just something everyone gets. Every class has access to this. We'll begin researching Aid. This allows us to cast a heal on the strategic map, which is the only way to recover Actually, we're going to reverse this. Aid is the only way to recover undead. I changed my mind, we'll start with this. Which cannot regenerate naturally, because they're unnatural. These 2 pages here are determined by your primary school of magic, and I think it's set in stone. I don't think it pulls from a pool of potential death spells. We have Death Spark, which it doesn't tell you what it does, but I believe this will reset your movement on the strategic map, and you take 10% damage to everything in your stack. This 3rd page here is determined by your secondary school of magic, which is death for us, because, life is a disease. We don't have any spells to cast right now, because I don't care. Here is the Necromancy. This is the race, faction, class-specific creation of units. And as a necromancer, we use a soul and ingredients to create new and terrifying things, both vile and malefic. With just a basic soul, our basic chaff unit is the ghoul. It's okay, we'll craft it just to show you what it's like. But notice that if we have any points in life, we can't use necromancy. Life truly is a disease. So we'll cancel that out with the remains, and we'll go ahead and craft our basic unit. Anything else to talk about? We can take a look at the units that we're about to march into battle. We have our Necromancer minions. These are the starting units for the Necromancer and kind of like your carry to get started. They have a ranged attack for death magic, a melee attack. You can see there are, I believe there are like 4 classifications of damage. Physical and elemental, which are blocked by armor. And then death and white, which are blocked by willpower. Willpower also plays a factor into morale, which goblins are actually pretty terrible at. All of your starting units are followers, which means they have no upkeep. And you can also get followers from various quests driving the story. And swimming is like a map thing. These are fantastical creatures, which some schools and schools of magic and classes deal with differently. As a necromancer with full double death, we probably are not going to see many fantastical creatures, but they can't level up. In exchange, they get some benefits. And, goblins, these are just the basic tier 1 units. There's nothing at all exciting about goblins, except some of the units that can benefit from them. From the camp, you make out the loud and obnoxious squabbling of goblins. It appears they are fighting over loot from the tower, screaming at each other at the top of their lungs. Ambush them. Now, as I mentioned, the auto-resolver is kind of sus. This thinks we're going to lose both of our goblin warriors, but I know better. It also showed a chevron on our necromancer unit, our necromantic minion, but that is just not the case. I can right-click or use spell, spacebar, to increase their movement so we don't have to watch them waddle. Waddle. And with a ranged unit, we can hover over a space and you can see the eyeballs there, which show that it is a partial, excuse me, I hit the mic there, a partial obstructed hit. Now these guys are all in their base and there is an archer amongst them, which blows. I bet if I run it down, they'll come at me. Which is not exactly something I am interested in. There's a gate there. We'll hide in the trees a little bit. See what we can see. Now, one of the main complaints about this game that I have is that there is no rebinding of keys. Which kind of sucks. If I run it down, the archers are probably going to shoot me, but I will be obstructed here from them. It's worth noting. These guys can also soul cage people, which means, there it is, we get a guaranteed soul at the end of combat, which we can of course use to create more beautiful minions. Yep, there we go. The AI tends to move first and then act second, so keep that in mind. How do we want to do this? Probably...
We going?
Not very useful positioning here, is it? Because I'm going to have to overkill the crap out of this.
We going?
And take damage. Ugh. No bueno. But being in the trees, I believe, means we're obstructed, so... We are confident that is a morale thing because we've been beating the crap out of everything, which provides us with +2 damage. Isn't that fantastical? When we guard, we end our actions and gain 20% damage resistance. And it worked out that time. That was the play. The play. Everyone has 3 AP, so is what it is. And we got another soul cage. Beautiful. No losses. Take that, AI. What do you know? A heroic victory. We grabbed some souls. Ooh. This one gives guard break. That is actually exceptionally good. The now quiet camp is littered with goblin corpses. They were carrying and using some of your master's tools, as well as a small amount of coin. Oh, okay. As you turn to leave, a few goblins emerge from hiding behind one of the dirty tents. One of them, wearing a hood made of a torn silken cloth, waves excitedly at you.
You, I remembers you, one of Master's pupils. Yes, we serves masters, not like these chagrak.
Here, he spits at the dead goblins emphatically. Bowing, he adds,
Oh, we serves you now, yes, you gives us shiny, we fights for you. Shows you where Master's things are.
The goblin points to two stacks of chests and sacks not far from where you stand. Cool, thanks. Now, standing in this thing allows us to recruit goblins. It's in our territory, so we can recruit them. And we also gain bonus daily regeneration. Which, since we can't move, we'll go ahead and do it. Every unit that is not fantastical can level up, and they pull from a giant pool of any benefits that you can think of. So it's completely random. Right now, our choices are pack tactics or piercing attacks. We are going to take the piercing attacks. I don't think I fought any armored units, but in due time, that will no doubt be good. Goblins have exceptionally low willpower, so we'll go ahead and grab one of those. Try and cover some of our weaknesses. And of course, now we can hire stuff. We could hire some more tier 1 brawlers or archers. We're going to go ahead and hire the Goblin Shaman. This is take 2 turns, and he has a 2 gold upkeep, but the Goblin Shaman can heal. If you are familiar with Spellforce 3, yes, in fact, that is the icon, and I believe even the model for the Orc Hero Goblin Shaman. Good turn 1. Here in the tower, we have 2 more rooms we can construct. And I would like to construct the study as soon as possible to increase our research rates, which is why I grabbed that mana. Go ahead and end our turn. We do not have to cast any spells for a little bit, so I do think it is okay to just waddle over here and bibbidi-bobbidi. We can grab our guild here. Now, the map is kind of procedurally generated, but I do believe that some of it is like set in stone. As for our team here, you can see we have 4 slots. You can increase that. I believe it goes up to 8. But by default, it's 4 slots. And then there's 1 slot, the star slot, is for a hero or an apprentice. We'll find an apprentice first. What are your next steps? The destruction of your master's tower must mean he uncovered something of the Allfire secrets, which the Circle guards fiercely. You can restore the contents of his grimoire, but his tower needs rebuilding as well. And if the Circle is behind his disappearance, you must expect them to come for you as well. Maybe they know of your discovery already. I won't let them stop me. Taking proper stock of your master's laboratory, you find very little more than empty vials and containers that have, like everything else, been searched through. It was certainly not the work of goblins. You can make out tracks of a cart leading to a nearby hamlet you passed on your way here. Did the villagers plunder the tower after it was abandoned too? I suppose I should check in with them. Now, one of my main complaints about this game, actually, is that you see this hamlet wasn't here before. As events happen, things are just going to spawn into our domain, which is fine and all, but the reason I don't like it is because you don't know exactly how valuable an area is until events start spawning things in. That might just be for the first area. I don't know. We'll begin researching the Enchanted Wisp. We will need this. Spoiler alert. Our little ghoul friend came in. Hello, little ghoul. Why do you have elvish ears? Like I said, these are just the basic necromantic units. They cannot regenerate. That's what I was talking about. As an Undertaker, they give us additional remains after combat. Fantastic. They have elemental weakness, exceptional white weakness. Again, that's kind of like holy-ish damage. And they can consume corpses to heal themselves. And immune to psychology. ITP. Now, during the rewards for plundering the goblin camp, we actually got some of these lesser glyphs, which are amazing. These can be used in one of two ways. First is here in the construction screen. This life one's not very helpful for us, though. I need to cancel this out. We need to remain our skeleton warriors. So I guess I'll explain this since we're here. The way this works is... How much of this did I already explain? We need a soul. We have the ingredients. And then we have these thresholds. Now, these thresholds determine what is being created. As you can see, with 3 elementals, we are creating a skeleton warrior. If you have 3 elementals and 3 death, you can create something else. But that it requires a higher tier soul. We don't have a 1 tier soul. So we can only create something of 3 elementals, which is skeleton warrior, 3 death, which is a skeleton archer, or 3 arcane, which is a skeleton mage. Anything beyond that will require a more powerful soul, and I don't know what they are. I think 3 elemental, 3 death is a skeleton horseman. Maybe. The other way we can use these is up here, in these little glyph slots. I'd love to toss in the bowman glyph here to get +2 missile damage. It would make me a happy camper. I think we're going to save it for the construction of a skeleton warrior in a moment. And of course, the hamlet is here, so let's go take a look. The village's inhabitants eye you with an air of hostility when you arrive. Children are called inside. Some of the villagers arm themselves with tools and sticks. Your band regards them cautiously in return. A burly black-haired man brandishing a cudgel steps forward and says, "There's nothing for you here." Oh, let's scare them into submission. The villagers remain defiant. "We won't return the ingredients. The apprentice left them as payment for helping him flee. We got them fair and square. You can't just take them from us. Return them to me, or pay the price in blood." At the sight of your troops moving in, the villagers' bravery fails, and they lower their makeshift weapons. How to punish them for their insolence in keeping your master's materials? Slay them, and take everything. It's an auto-resolver that actually isn't going to lose anything. Being in our domain, of course, gives us benefits. I'm actually curious how this auto-resolver will do. Am I curious enough to... Yeah, let's see how it does. Okay, took a lot of damage on the ghoul, which is not good because, of course, it cannot heal. We got the remains from the ghoul's passive. I don't know how I feel about that. With their armed defenders dead, the remaining villagers cower in fear. You quickly find the stolen ingredients and take their valuables for good measure. Got some good stuff. 10 money. The undiscovered faction wasn't a fan of that. I wonder why. As you leave, you think about the apprentice the villagers kept speaking of. Perhaps you can find them. They may be able to shed some light on Master's fate. Now that we have taken over the hamlet, it is providing us +1 gold per turn. It is worth noting that unlike in most 4X games, this will run out. I don't know how to check that, but I'm pretty sure it will run out after a few turns. Now we're going to go ahead and go to our spellbook and find how I cast spells. Oh, right, I just go to the thing and then I click it. We're going to use this to add in magical daily regeneration. This is one of the few ways to heal units that cannot normally recover, such as the ghouls. You can see it's going to take 1 turn here. That's because we only have 8 mastery, which limits the amount of mana we can spend on spells. And next turn we're going to have just enough mana to cast it. We did level up. Let's grab a bonus when attacking enemies inflicted by fear. Now I imagine as a necromancer, we'll be inflicting a lot of fear. But as of right now, I have never seen this before. So let's grab our HP. More health, why not? Now, we can craft some fun things. Throw in that, throw in that. And give me... What would actually make the most sense is to go double death and then just equip the lesser glyph. That would make the most sense. Whoops. There we go. So now the skeleton archers not only break stances, but then we can equip the glyph to give them +2 damage. That's going to be kind of sick. Let's do it. Now the question is, do we want to actually spawn this goblin shaman? I kind of do. The shamans are pretty cool, but they do cost 2 upkeep. Maybe we just cancel this. Because we're a happy camper. Kind of. Shall we waddle towards our master's gold here? Let's do so. We'll be able to cast Aid next turn. This turn. Boom. So next turn we'll get some bonus regeneration on all of our friends. Now, one of our glyphs here, this one, which we can't actually use because it's triple life, it gives us the ability to harvest plants. And I've never done it before, but there are some items on the world map, that we can stick something that can harvest it in, and it will gather us resources. That's more important for the alchemist and the artificer, but it's something that we should at least keep in mind. Our skeleton archer is coming soon, and it's going to be great. Your master's missive spoke of an Allfire source he discovered not far from here. Now that you have established yourself in his tower, it is time to search for it. You eagerly scour his scribblings for any hint to the source's location. It must be close to the tower, else your master would not have set up his abode here. Eventually, you find the location noted in your master's grimoire. It is not even a day's walk from the tower. As many have found out, to their detriment, no mortal may touch the Allfire without being consumed. The Circle only recently discovered how to master its power, and they will not teach their secret to anyone. But your master once described a theory of his as a magical conduit. By summoning an ethereal creature to meld with the Allfire's source and retaining the connection to it after it has been consumed, you may be able to channel some of the Allfire's power into yourself. A wisp may do the trick, an ethereal being often used by mages as scouts or messengers. Remember when I said we're going to need this? We're going to need it. And I guess we'll just go that way. I was going to explore. Now these little things here, these are the names of events, not of like cities or areas or whatever. So that trebuchet is not actually called the Last Resort. Unfortunately, it's a cool name for a treb. With this, do we want to bring the ghoul back? We might. I think so. Look at our little skeleton archer. Our little skeleton archer friend. 777. Wow. The meme. He has the range attack here, a melee move, the guard break, which is going to be amazing. No region, of course, and all skeletons have ribcage, which gives them 4 armor against missile attacks, so they can trade pretty well. But of course, they have their own weaknesses. Okay. We'll send the ghoul back, add him to this army, and we will move on. Watch my tower. I don't know what that run was, but watch my tower. We have an enemy here. What are you? Independent. Oh, I see. Strong, independent, fanatical thing. Soldiers. Great. Approaching the Allfire's node's location, you find it buzzing with activity. A swarm of insects has taken hold of it, no doubt attracted by the place's alluring energy. If we were an alchemist, we could use an ointment to disperse them peacefully, but we aren't about peace. So let's kill them. The auto-resolver thinks we're going to lose one of our little goblin meat shields. I beg to differ. Now, it is very important in this game to pay attention to all of your opponents. Because these particular hornets, in case it wasn't obvious, can fly. Which means they can move up over terrain. So while this terrain seems advantageous to us, it's really not. So we want to keep that in mind, because our ranged characters are not the strongest in the world, despite the fact that they have a lot more health. I think this is because brawlers don't have much health. So, there is also such a thing as the high ground. It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground. What if I kind of just want to chill? I don't know if this will count, but I'll go over there. Sure. Okay. We'll just chill. Oh, yeah. Great. Using our eyeball, we know. I think this is best here. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, because of my poor positioning, our skeleton archers were caught. So, that sucks. But, guard mode. Maybe we will end up losing one of our guys. Oh, they did it. They lived at 6. Well done. Well done. Okay, that was a little greedy. Didn't I just say something about you should always check the status of your opponents? I did, didn't I? I said that. After dispersing the giant insects, you eagerly approach the place where a glow seems to break through the ground, pulsating with promise. The Allfire draws you to it, its power singing to you. As tempting as it is, you know that outside the circle of mages, no one can touch it and survive. If you can summon a wisp, it could meld with the Allfire source and allow you to channel its energy. Yep, we'll get that. Are you a wisp? You are. Now this is a spawner, which means over time this will spawn enemies. Let's grab speed so I can position better. We'll grab willpower. That is the weakness of the goblins after all. +1 gold as additional loot after each combat. We'll take the anti-armor. Now I want to run in here. I do. But I am a little afraid, considering our HP. I'm not that afraid. Maybe we'll waddle back towards my territory. Because, of course, being within my domain gives me buffs. Oh. Yeah, you're just gonna chill here, my dude. By telling him to sleep, I'm not going to be notified about his existence. Hey, look! Once per week, there is an event. At the start of every week, there's an event that gives you random benefits. This one is +5 mana per day. And we have constructed our study, which means we get even more research. Nice. Not far from your tower, you spot a hooded figure watching you from a crop of trees. Is the circle already aware of your presence here? Danger may be closer than you expected. You know the local militia holds a watchtower not far away. Perhaps you could acquire help from there. Hello, place just spawning into existence again. Alrighty. Deadly weapons. An enchantment that can bind necromantic energy into any material. Death March is a 2-turn research. Maybe we just do that. Oh, this sounds really good. Yeah, we'll go grab that. It's fine. 6 turns isn't bad. I guess this guy's just going to chill on the bridge. And we can begin casting our little wispy friends. Gonna take 2 turns, but that's okay. We're not the healthiest in the world. Do we care about that? No? We'll just swap out the weak goblin for the ghoul. Put him there. Combine the stack and move in. Now, unlike in Age of Wonders, I don't believe you can actually like surround a tile with enemies and then pounce on them. I believe it's literally just a one-on-one every time. So, it's worth noting. Some soldiers loiter in front of the watchtower, but there isn't even a proper guard posted. At the sight of your approach, a few of them do get up, unsure, on their feet, and obviously more than just a little drunk. Admonish them for the dereliction of duty. The soldiers all laugh mirthlessly. You think anyone cares? The leader snorts. The Baron hasn't visited in months, and brigands freely roam the lands. People complain every day, but their cries fall on deaf ears. I will not be insulted by a drunken peasant. Attack. The AI believes that both of my frontline units are going to die. Ah, it is what it is. Wow, they're actually coming at me. That's very surprising. So, I turn on the grid for a second. The arsonist, of course, can throw stuff. So it might be an idea to begin marching down toward them. You're weak to... Yeah, you have elemental weakness. So we'll go here with our skeleton archer. Can I shoot? One tile off. We'll discard. And our necromantic minion. Where will you go? If you go there.
We going?
Okay. We might lose our goblins here. We had backup goblins, right?
We going?
Cool. Unfortunately, thanks to my positioning, we couldn't get a soul cage attempt, but that's okay. Beautiful. My goblins are gonna die. Unless there is a chance that we die. But we take the chance over the guarantee, right? Nice. I hope they don't bleed out. They did not bleed out. Nice. GG. Oh, I probably should let the ghouls... Oh, no, they were tied up. Not the cleanest victory in the world, but we got it done. We got it done. And we got a tier 2 soul. Ooh. Ooh. The militia are no match for you. You take over the tower and discover a few coin sacks in the leader's room. He must have been keeping them hidden for himself. Well, at least we gained something. Hey, Alluvian. Founded by both humans and elves, Alluvian is renowned for its elegant elvish architecture and lush gardens. The city's gatherers roam the countryside looking for medicinal and magical ingredients, and traveling elves often stay here and bring rare plants from Phenonia. We might want to go for a visit. As you can see, they don't like us very much. This is one of Fiara's cities. Cities offer a range of shops and hiring opportunities as well as adventures. To unlock these facilities, you must reach a certain reputation level with the city, earning reputation by ridding the city's surrounding region of monsters and by completing the adventures offered by it. Certain spells and decisions may also raise or lower your reputation, which is displayed near the banner. That doesn't look very friendly, if you ask me. Is my replenishment improved? Here it is. Cool. Now, we got a tier 2 soul. What can we do with it? Boom. 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 The Skeleton Riders. Do we want that? Do I have a choice? Now, reducing focus means that... We haven't seen that yet, but spellcasters need focus to cast their spells. And it is a finite resource within a battle. Look at our little pretty boys. They are feared. Oh, that's what inflicts fear. Huh. Oh, they have charge. +3 damage on its first melee strike for every field move prior to attacking. Wait, couldn't that be absolutely insane? Do we do it? My mana income is... What's your upkeep? Can I check? 2? I'll have literally +1 mana. I might do it. I'm just looking to see if there's any way. Shall we? Let's do it. Where are you? Maybe we'll find something better in the meantime, but I kinda doubt it. Okay. We're still waiting. So the tower can actually expand, but we are not able to do that just... What? Oh. You're fine, little goblin friends. There's one of those spontaneous enemies. Now, in Age of Wonders 3, your tower could be taken over just by walking onto it. So, I hope that's not a bad sign. The moment I move somewhere, something's going to happen. You know it. I guess only the goblin is regenerating here. Is that guy still there? No, he moved on. The Shaper's Secret. That's a lot of stuff. However, this symbol... Yeah, the adventure on this location can only be unlocked by your direct influence. To access it, your tower's domain must reach this location. There are 2 ways you can do that. I think it's too far away for us to just, like, naturally expand it, but you can literally lift your tower into the air and move it to a better place. Which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. I was going to move into the tower for regeneration, but just chill there for a second. We were prompted. That scared the crap out of me. To go to the city. But, you know. Late at night, a frantic rattling at the door wakes you up. From your window, you see a hooded figure nervously eyeing the path leading up to your tower. Spotting you, they frantically wave and shout. Quick, open up in the name of our master. They are after me. Okay, I'll open the door. I'm a trusting individual. After quickly sliding through the doorway and locking the door behind him, a man slumps against the wall and breathes. I pray they have not spotted my trail, or may all be lost. We may all be lost. There we go. Slowly catching his breath, he pulls down his hood. He is older than you thought, his beard already graying. Apologies, where are my manners? He mumbles. I know who you are. Our master spoke very highly of you, but no doubt you wonder who I am. I am Jonah. I studied the art of necromancy with our late master, the man says proudly. Here is the proof of my work with him. He hands you a number of densely scribbled pages. Their topics center on facilitating the creation of undead, marked in numerous places by your master's hand. So what happened? I must say it is quite the tale. He takes a seat at the table near the tower entrance. Do you want me to tell you everything, or just what has happened to our master's research after the circle came for him? Skip to the end if you please. A day's journey from here, not far away, is a tower the circle's forces have long used as a base. I am certain that is where they took the towers with our master's most valuable research pages. I I managed to gather some of our master's former servants, but our forces are not sufficient to take on the Circle's minions. I implore you, please help me protect our master's legacy. I swear, I will not fail him again. I will even offer you my services if you help me retake his research. Please, together, we may best the Circle's forces. Our master's work must be preserved. This research is invaluable. I must have it. Hello. I guess we are waddling in that direction. This is the wisp that we're going to summon. And we're going to... We can summon it anywhere in our domain, as you can see, and we're going to waddle, 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 waddle. Before you is the glory of the Allfire. Its raw, unbridled energy sings to you, resonating with every fiber of your being. You desire nothing more than to touch it, though you know it will destroy you. The wisp beside you hums slowly, resonating with the Allfire as well. Give yourself over to the Allfire's call. Sure. Tears stream down your face. You find yourself laughing with joy, with the sheer ecstasy of the power flowing through you. But you cannot hold it for more than a fraction of a second. You step back, hollow and weak, before it can sweep you away forever. 'Tis of no use. You simply do not have the means to do what the Circle accomplished. You cannot connect to the Allfire directly. But we got 5 men out of it, which is why I did it. Let the wisp do the melding. You barely manage to avert your gaze from the wondrous energy, so powerful is your desire to delve into the Allfire source. But you do restrain yourself, focusing instead on what can be learned from observing the meld. To hell with the Circle. I agree. So we have this world action here to meld into the source, and we will. This now opens up a new panel, which is the Allfire Flow. From here, we can use the Allfire to modify what our magical income is. We can increase our mana, our research, or our proficiency. Proficiency is increasing our mastery, which allows us to cast things better, but it also increases our mastery level if we have some. So because we currently have +5 from the current week of mana, I think we're going to dump it. And I'm not all that concerned about research either. We might just go full proficiency. Is what we'll do for now. I don't know what the meta here is. It might just be go all proficiency to get like the domain expansions. But we'll do that. Now Jonah has joined us. This is an apprentice who takes up the star slot. He himself, 9 focus, not bad. Has death bolts, melee attack, move, guard. He can raise undead, which requires a corpse. So it's not just, hey, here's a free minion every battle. You have to kill something and then you can raise the corpse. But that is his only use of focus, so we'll do it. He is a gifted pupil. That's where the extra thing is coming from. Necromancy. Increases our chance of gaining souls. Very nice. He is an apprentice, which means he can build a lodge to spread our domain. And he's immune to mind control. Now this lodge, as far as I understand it, we plop it somewhere and it like creates a miniature domain. This wouldn't be a bad spot to put it. But we don't have any like great... overly great spots to plop it down right now. Because this will soon be within our territory. We also were joined by a bunch of goblins. So if we actually recruited the Goblin Shaman right now, we could create a full Goblin stack, which would be amazing. Goblin Shamans have access to healing, and they give benefits to goblins within their group. So we can actually make a really powerful, like, trash tier army. As for Jonah, I wish there was, like, heal undead or something. I think we're going to start casting aid. I'm going to have to remember to move our Allfire distribution back when the event ends. I kind of want to take this right now. This guy is going to waddle towards our base. So we grab this turn, and then we return to the tower. I think is the play. So go here. You're going to go back. Yeah, so you'll go back. You'll go back. And we'll grab you 3 and move up. Cool. And in we go. A heroic victory. We win without losses, but because we do have a 2 necromantic units, I think I'm going to do this manually. Let's begin. And this will give us 4 gold when it enters our domain. So we're fighting a wisp and a human. Blah! The wisp does have a ranged attack. Okay. Hover. What does this do? In Age of Wonders 3, the wisp can teleport. I hope that's not the case here, because they were really annoying. As for you, you are shielded. So non-flanking attacks, you get more armor. No big deal. No big deal. They might destroy that? I don't know.
Yes.
Here's our boy Jonah. Jonath, excuse me.
We going?
I kind of worked this, but that's okay. We'll see what they do. Okay. Not bad, not bad. I do not believe Jonath has Soul Cage. So we do want to make that, keep that in mind. I actually think he was guarding. There's the Soul Cage.
Yes.
And here's the kill. If I kill with the Goblin, I can then raise it. But if I kill with the Goblin, I'm going to take damage. $22. So if I roll well, I don't take damage. Because you don't have first strength. Let's roll well. I did. Nice.
Yes.
Now we can use our Raise Undead. This is just a temporary friend. Don't get too excited. And then we'll guard here to see if we can bait the attack again. Can we do it? Nope. No matter. We'll run our walking corpses in with sheer abandon. Because they don't matter. Move you back.
Yes.
Move you up. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Because this guy is in melee range, he cannot use his ranged attacks. He being the wispy thingy. So.
Yes.
We will go in with full confidence. Okay, he's gonna move away. Unsurprising, but now he's dead. Beautiful. I told you, the auto-resolver was kind of weird. I feel like it just runs them in to death. We are currently hated by Alluvion. That's probably not gonna change, to be honest. What are you? Oh. Can't quite go there. Alright, at least my tower is safe. Our archer leveled up. What are you going to do, little archer? +3 magical daily regen. I believe that overrides the no regeneration. Let's check. 48. We're at 48. Is there anything else I need to do this turn? We can build a workshop. I don't know what this does. It said +3 gold per day. I'll take it. Okay. What was it? 48. Does that override the no regen? Because that would be freaking amazing. We have 8 as well. It does. Wow. Okay. Magical regen is the wording of 8 as well, so. I mean, it is. I don't want to say obvious. But it makes sense. I want this. I mean, I don't want this ghoul, but I'll take the ghoul. Put you in there. Eventually, this Necromancer stack is going to be, like, full undead. We'll cast it. Our meld finishes next turn. I don't know where the demon thing went, but we are mostly... The ghoul might die. I put him in there. We'll wait for the shaman before we move out of this group. We'll just replace this guy with the shaman. I think. Yeah, just stay there. On higher difficulties, I imagine you have to hide out in your tower a lot. There's my skeleton rider. There is the Allfire connection. Enter to event. You toss and turn in your bed, haunted by the strangest images. After hours spent struggling to sleep, you sit up, but you find yourself surrounded by an eerie, impenetrable fog. All around you, ethereal whispers float by. It is a dream. It must be. Let's walk into the fog. You find your way through the fog, turned around in meaningless direction until you find yourself on a high mountain, overlooking the fog below you. I see something in the distance. Your mind is suddenly bombarded with a stream of thoughts that are not your own. Information comes and goes, leaving you feeling a little lightheaded, but empowered. Cool, got some research. With our rider out in force. I don't care about the school. Grab him, bring him into our glorious army, and this will be the final turn for today, so we'll take our goblin stack and just go beat up some dogs. Get these guys out of our territory. I'm gonna auto this. There was no reason not to. Grab some speed. Like speed. Gotta go fast. And healing, sure. Alrighty. Jonath. Now that we've melded this, this is part of our territory. Unfortunately, these guys are here, so once our shaman arrives, we might go send out an expedition of goblins to go put him down. Jonath! Let's go to war. A heroic victory. But I gotta do this myself. This is our first encounter with the Circle, as far as I'm aware. Alrighty, what are you? I like you. You're a horned beast. A fantastic demon. You have a roar to reduce willpower. Do the undead care about that, though? You are fatigued, so less speed. Okay. Not sure why I'm fatigued, but I'm also not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. 12 armor is quite a bit. Quite a bit. As for you, you are a lesser fire golem. My fellow Dowie players, raise up. As far as I know, the fire golems are not meta at all from Spellforce 3. They can throw fireballs. I am shocked. Shocked, I say. So they have separated. Meaning it's going to be a pain for the horned beast to travel through this. But the fire golem, of course, doesn't care too much. Let's ride. So we'll just run it down mid carefully. We'll carefully run it down mid. I don't believe that wasn't an AoE, right? No. Cool. Oh, the horn beast changed. Okay, they changed their minds. I feel like I'm playing Total War. My Cav is going to do a full circle here. We're sneaking up to bash their artillery.
Yes.
I'd love to use the high ground bonus here. Can I, like, waddle in that direction, maybe? I don't know.
Yes.
Let's find out. They're going to go for the high ground bonus. Oh. The battle will end in a draw if no damage is dealt to either side within 4 turns. Okay. So we got to figure out our positioning quickly is what I'm getting from this. It's fine.
Yes.
Oh my goodness gracious. There we go. It's over, Anakin. Where am I? We'll break his guard with this. I thought. I thought wrong. Can I have like a green eyeball here? Soul
Yes.
Cage. Not bad.
We going?
Yes.
I kind of want to stay hidden. Remember, we are weak to elemental damage, so... You can move there, which means you can attack this. I wish I could turn on turn on a thing that just let me, like, see permanently where enemies could attack. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Oh, that charge. I gotta go. I gotta do it. I have to. Oh. How hard do you hit? That's pretty hard. But it's just so beautiful. Hello? Wait, what? Oh, fuck. Hit you. What? What?
Yes.
Did I find a bug? What's happening? I found a bug, didn't I? No one can do anything. What the fuck? Oh, we're in a different map this time.
We going?
Huh. Could you just keep reloading the map until you got something
Yes.
favorable? Weird. Anyway. Cut this open. We'll see if we can waddle our way to some glorious victory here.
Yes.
I want to try and stay
Yes.
obstructed from this guy's line of sight.
Yes.
Should be good.
We going?
Okay. I want to get the fat charge. Like, that's the reason I made these units, okay? I want to be good at the game. So we'll go over here, which should still have obstructed line of sight. I can attack here, but it's not a great attack. How far can you move?
Yes.
I feel like I'm gonna wait. I wish I could. You can't turn the unit either. I can get a partial shot here. I don't know if this is worth it. Okay. Oh, okay, they went for them. Ooh, got a roar. Okay. Well.
Yes.
Get the shots. Now, I'm going to stand. I didn't want to stand there, but we're standing there. Okay. We're going to go this way. Get a fat charge and turn him around. Boom. Fear. Beautiful. A retaliation, but no big deal. And then 3-1. I think one full attack is better than two partials. Although I think all this range was just 1 AP. Yeah, okay. He lived at 3. But we should be good. That should be a GG. Please don't kill my goblins. They've worked so hard. Flanking attack. That is an orange eyeball, though. Hold on. Let's get a green. I'm actually using flanks. Who are you and what have you done with Fable? And then
Yes.
you. Yeah. Alright. Well done, Jonah. Look at my little goblins. They can be proud. They lived. They survived. Archers have been okay. Look at that. A greater tormented soul. Now that sounds like something I'm interested in. So this little symbol here means that it adds a point to every essence we have already invested in. Why do I have so much life crap? Yes, we really don't want any life with this. We're going to use this to make a tier 2 unit, of course. We're not going to use it now. I'm just looking. I'm just investigating. Vampire Acolytes. What are you? 105 hit points. Plus 30 HP. Is that from the copper thing? Gains a bonus when attacking enemies afflicted by bleeding. Undying. Unit revives with 30% health after 3 turns in battle when killed. Unit heals 30% after each battle. Unit revives at the end of the battle if its army has won. Wow. That's amazing. Do I just make them? I don't know why they're getting plus 30% hit points, but that's really good. I was hoping you'd have a spell. You have no focus. Interesting. I'll wait on this. If you made it to the end, you can let me know what you think of it. But next turn, we'll go grab the stolen pages. Our little goblins are over here waiting. Waiting for their glorious shaman leader. Grab that speed. Grab that daily regen. Brawlers get punched a lot. Not my fault. But that, my friends, is the first look at Spellforce Conquest of AO. I really like this game. It doesn't seem like overly complicated, but I do think there's a lot of potential here. Now, there's nowhere near as much replayability as with Age of Wonders, but I think this could be a fun little series. You'll have to let me know if you made it to the end. Thank you for making it to the end. And thank you for watching. Thank you to the patrons and channel members who support the channel. I'm back, baby. My long break, spurred by Grandfather Nurgle, has come to an end. So I hope you continue to look forward to lots of content on the channel, lots of plans. Hopefully they all come to fruition this time. But feel free to join the Discord to stay up to date with all those plans to see if they do come to fruition. And I'll see you next time, as Iratus, the Lord of the Dead, continues to move his chess pieces and conquer a brand new world. Bye.